Welcome to all. Continue the exercise questions. See, earlier questions all. In the beginning, lot of questions, only rectangles. Last class, triangle started coming. Now, today see, rectangle with semicircle. Rectangle with semicircle, here. Triangle with the quadrant. Then, rectangle with the quadrant. Rectangle and triangle with semicircle. So these are all simple questions. Brief I will do. Remember, exercise questions. So direct answer to be given, but still brief information I will give you. Start. Question 131. Locate G. Why? Every question, find all the questions, dimensions in millimeter, find moment of inertia about centroidal axis. This I cannot tell every time. If it is not mentioned also, understood, moment of inertia about centroidal axis. If some other axis is required, I will mention in the question. Okay. Start. Divide into parts. See, 200 by 150. 200 by 150. See, I will divide like this. See, correctly here. I will divide like this. And this semicircle, its diameter is, if this is 200, it is also diameter of semicircle. So diameter is 200. So this height radius will be 100. 150 plus 100 is 250. Okay, over. To locate G, one more important, make a note. See, correct, clear. This is perfectly symmetrical about YY. See, this way. So, YY axis, you need not, I am dictating, you should write it. You need not locate YY axis by calculation. Directly mark, see, YY, I will directly mark. So, X bar is not required. You have to locate only XX, see. To locate XX, to locate XX axis, I already told you, right here, YY axis need not be, YY axis is directly marked, XX you have to locate. If you want to locate XX axis, you require Y bar. So Y bar, I will take Abelco, see, Abelco, 1, 2, area, these two, directly I wrote the areas. See, when I write area, and a little later I will tell, okay, area, Y, see here, Y. For this I will take 1. This Y is 150 by 2, 75. For this one, Y is 150 plus 2D by 3 pi. You calculate, then get the answer. Exercise question, remember. So you get total area, you get Y bar. Locate mark XX, 115.360. From here to here is 75. So little above 75, this 150, see, this is the 75, little more, yes, little more, okay, no problem. As long as you mark correct region, it's sufficient, okay. This is your XX axis. From here, it is 115.360 or 36 sufficient. Why? 360 not required. Then from the topmost edge, total 250, get the distance. It is, I noted down there, 134.64 millimeter. Okay, over. Now, YY, see, directly mark. This is center of circle, YY axis. If you want distance, both are midpoint. See, 200 means 100, 100. Okay, over. Now, moment of inertia. See, I, you are right, usual, I equal to IG plus A square all. IG and area, see, IG and area, already thoroughly explained, exclusively class I told you. For parallax theorem, I taken one class, revision type. All the standard cases, I told how to get IG and how to get area. So now onwards, when I write I moment of inertia, I want to waste my time telling IG plus A, important is H square. So start. 1. IG plus A into H square. About XX here, this distance. 150, exercise question. I will not waste time telling from centroid to XX, this perpendicular square. I am telling now 115.36 minus 150 by 2 whole square will give Ixx. See, I told you exercise question. Sometimes people will tell he is not explaining properly. What not explaining properly? See the question number there, 131. It is exercise question. Okay, plus for this one. First Ig. See, it is G2. Ig is here. I won't explain why it is 0.00686. See, here it is 0.00686. But here it is pi by 128. This I will not tell now. If I keep on telling those things now, this subject will never end. Okay. Ig plus area into this distance square is 134.64 minus 100, then plus 2 into 200 divided by 3 pi, that is square. Okay. That will give, calculate Ixx. Iyy. Ig plus area into 0 square. For that also area into 0 square. Why 0 square? If not clear, don't continue attending my classes. I told so crystal clear many times, repeatedly told, explained all, go through each and every class, then only come to exercise. Okay, 131 over. Now I will go to 132. Where is 132? Here. Okay, I will prepare it to save the time. 132. To locate G, see here, to locate G, make a note, Xx and Yy both to be located by calculation. So, what you require? X bar and Y bar both required. Y both required. Okay. Both required. Therefore, I will prepare the sketch and start. Question 132. See, I won't write anything. Area, X, Y. Again, remember Abelco. With respect to Abelco. Abelco, that is C. O, X, Y. No color, green color this time. Simple black color only. Okay, start. A1, A2. X1, X2. Y1, Y2. Check the answer. X bar, Y bar will come. Okay, start. 175. See, this is 180. So 175 is slightly how much? See, this is 180 here. We got how much? 175 means little before. See here, here. Now you should be careful for moment of inertia. Y axis. From here to here is 175.409. Therefore, from here to here will be, see, up to extreme end here. Total is 420. It is 244 point, I calculated there, 591. Y bar, 96.414. See, 96 means from here to here will be, see, 76. It is little above. But from here to here is 120. So, little above G1, but before G2. XX. This is G1. XX distance. Okay, now this all not required. I remove it now. Already over. See, already over. Why should you maintain it? This distance is 96.414 from the topmost edge here. See, this topmost edge to here is 83.586. Okay, X bar, Y bar over. As usual, if you want to mark here, centroid G for the entire lamina or entire given area, unwanted things not required. Start. Moment of inertia. I about XX first. I about XX. See, I will do one thing. I will write as if I am writing examination now. See, I will show axis, diameter 360. No, it is quadrant. 0.00343 into 360 power 4 Ig, as if I am writing examination, plus area pi by 16 of 360 square into this distance square is 96.414 minus this distance 2 into 360 divided by 3 pi whole square, that is I about xx of 1 plus I about xx for 2. 240 into 180 cube by 12. 240 into 180 cube divided by 12, not 12, 36. Be careful. Just for fun I told 12. That is what mistake so many make. When they put something into something cube, naturally they tell 12. Plus half into 240 into 180 is the area into 83.586 minus 1 by 3 of 180 whole square over. This will give you I about xx, I about yy. You should be little careful. I about its own axis. Ig plus 0.00343 into 360 power 4 Ig plus pi by 16 into 360 square is the area. 360 square is the area into, you should be careful, this distance square is 180 minus, this all I explained for you. See, actually should not tell. This distance square is 180 minus what? Minus, see, from what? This is 180. This is 175.704. So you get this distance will come. Or you can do one thing. See, best one is from this distance you subtract this distance. This distance is how much? That distance is 2 into diameter 360 divided by 3 pi. From that you subtract how much? 2. That from that, or you can do one thing. Okay, let me do. From that one you subtract. See, from this distance subtract this distance. This distance is how much? 180 bracket. Now flower bracket required here. Bracket 180 minus 175.409 close everything flower bracket over whole square. That is one of the options. If you want other option, see, I got one more option. Or you write this way. Okay, right here. Or, okay, I'll give or alternative for you. This one. Or the distance square. See, or I'll do one thing. You write this much. Then or I'll remove. Or from extreme end to this distance, how much? 240 plus 2d by 3 pi. 240 plus 2 into 360 divided by 3 pi. That is, see, from the extreme end there up to here, 240 plus 2d by 3 pi. From this distance, subtract this distance. See, you should think a little. This all I told you earlier. 244.591, that distance whole square. When you get difficulty from this side, you try from that side. See, that's all. See, here confusion comes. Oh, this is formula, this is confusion. Do from that side. If you do from that side, from extreme to here, see, from extreme to this distance, subtract what? See, from here to here, subtract 244.591. So you should think a little. Plus next triangle I about yy. 180 into 240 cube by 2. 180 into 240 cube by, see, by 36 Ig plus half into 180 into 240 is the area into this distance square is 244.591 minus 2/3 of 240. 2/3 of 240 whole square. You get I about YY over. Y waste time. 131 over 132 over 133. 133. Here also there is no symmetry. Again remember, here also X bar and Y bar both required. Both required. Okay, I will prepare the sketch. See, sometimes the most important is red color, distance square. That's why that I am explaining briefly. But this all already over, so many times over. Okay, we'll prepare the sketch with the answer. (133). This question is very simple. I do not want to waste the time. So, question given here. See, A1, A2 with, as usual, I told Abelco. With Abelco, you write X and Y, origin O. Abelco, X1, X2, then Y1, Y2, X bar, Y bar, X bar, Y bar. From that side you get it. And then I about XX, IG plus A square, IG plus A square, IYY, IG plus A square, IG plus A square. Waste of time. This question has this type of question, not this one. Such a simple one. After doing so many questions, exercise, but still I need not write anything. Now, if you make a mistake, you can make out where you made the mistake. Now, last question, 134 today. Now, I will do one thing now, 134. Once again, see. I will divide here, see, I forgot to tell you. Here I divide into what? One rectangle and one quadrant. See, this radius is 100, diameter is 200. Okay, now, see this question. I will divide into this way. One rectangle 1, triangle 2, and this semicircle 3. Okay, I will prepare the sketch, and once again for this also I will write the full expression and then maybe briefly I will explain. I removed all the questions. 134. See, I told I will divide like this: 1, 2, and 3. Radius 55. So diameter is correctly how much? 110. See, diameter radius is 55 given. See here 55. So this is 55, 110. So this also is 110. Total 200 given. So from 200 subtract 110, you get 90. These are all high school mathematics. Okay, now 1, 2, 3. Abelco. See Abelco here. A1, A2, A3. X1, X2, X3. Y1, sorry here. Y1, Y2, Y3. With that data, get X bar, Y bar. Okay. X bar 74.549. See here. This is from here to here is 62.5. So little further. Okay. Okay, I can bring it here. What is there? Projecting problem. Okay. 74.549, total 180, subtracting, you get this distance as, I have not noted down. Okay, okay. I have to calculate that. Not calculate. 74.549 at 74.549 minus 180 is 105.451. 105.451. 1 minute, I check the camera once. Okay, no problem. X axis, see y bar 125, this is 90, but up to here is 90 plus 55 more, so somewhere here. X axis 125 y bar, from there total 200 you subtract. Okay, now lastly moment of inertia. Just for a change, I decided this question to give little more information. Okay, but actually not required. Yeah, first of all, such questions, plenty of questions over. Still, Ixx, I about Xx equal to, okay, I about Xx means start. I about Xx for 1, I about Xx for 2, I about Xx for 3. 1 is not red color, 1 is black color. Earlier green color, now black color. 2 for 3. Then do the needful. What is needful? Add all and get the answer. Next, Iyy. I about yy for 1, then I about yy for 2, I about yy for 3. 1, 2, 3 equal to. Then do the needful. What is needful? Add all and get the final Iyy. Just checking the camera for left side. Okay, no problem. Oh, plenty of space is there. Okay, start. I will explain in such a way that I am also a student, learning from me or someone. I learned everything from some person, same person only. Okay. See, I told him murmur. I about Xx. First see, I about its own centroidal axis. Parallel side 125. Perpendicular is 110. Okay, first I'll write 125 into 110 cube divided by 12 Ig plus 125 into 110 is the area into perpendicular distance from G1 to Xx axis. This distance square, 74.817 minus 110 divided by 2 whole square. See? Okay. Then I about Xx for triangle. First I about its own centroidal axis parallel to Xx. Parallel side is 125. Height is 190. 125 into 90 cube divided by 36. Ig plus half into 125 into 90 into from centroid G2 to Xx, this distance square, that is 125.183 minus 2 by 3 of 90 whole square over. I about Xx for 3. I about Xx for 3. I about its own axis. Semicircle. I am writing as if I am a student. Not that I require such thinking. I like you. Like someone who studied but still their grip is not there. I about this own axis. Semicircle. Oh, yes. Semicircle, if that centroidal axis, symmetry axis, pi by 1, sir told, pi by 128. Someone called K.S.N. told me repeatedly, right there. K.S.N. told repeatedly, it is pi by 128. Decimal comes when it is not about symmetrical axis into diameter. 110 power 4 Ig plus area. Semicircle pi by 8 into 110 square is the area into, now this distance square, Oh, the center point. So 74.817, got it. 74.817 minus, how much it is? 110 by 2 whole square. Yes, got the answer. Black round off. Now I about yy. Now I are not in yy xx only, see, okay. Now I about yy. First, 1. Come to its centroid. Okay, I came. Axis parallel to centroid, parallel to yy. Oh, this axis. For that, parallel side is 110. So, 110 into perpendicular side is 125. Like a student I am writing, 125 cube by 12. My students, if they are there, they will start laughing like anything. If I talk this way, I about this axis, they will tell, sir, drama you are creating. Okay, plus 110 into 125. Sometime in the classroom I will do that way. Sometime shear force bending event all. I will tell this moment is, see that load. When I look at them, everybody will be laughing like anything. Okay, plus the area. 110 into 125 into this distance square. Oh, easier. 74.549 into, I forgot right, into bracket, into, understood. 74.549 minus this distance is 125 by 2. By 2 whole square. Okay, that also over. I about yy for triangle. First about its own center of the axis. Its own center of the axis is parallel side is 90. Oh, got it now. 90 into 125 cube divided by not 12, 36. Okay, that should be careful. Plus the area. Half into 90 into 125 is the area into distance square. Which distance square? From G2 to yy, this distance square. That distance square is 74.549. 74.549 minus this distance is, oh, this is smaller, that is bigger, 1/3. Okay. 1/3 of how much? 125 whole square. Okay, that also one. Now lastly, semicircle. I about its own yy. Semicircle, its own yy. If it is a symmetry axis for semicircle, it is pi by 128. Sir told that way. But if it is not symmetry, oh, then he told 0.00686. Oh, thank you. 0.00686 into diameter power 4. Diameter how much? 110. 110 power 4. Plus area. 5 by 8 of 110 square is the area into what? Into from G3 to yy, this distance square. How to get the distance? This full distance is known, 105. This is not known, this is known. This is 2d by 3 pi, you know it. Oh, got it. 105.451. 105.451. I will first subtract this distance. Subtract 55. Then I will get from here up to here. See, 105.451. This full distance. I will subtract 55. I will get this distance. Then I will add this distance, that is 2d by 3 pi. 2 into diameter is 110 divided by 3 pi whole square. Or is there any alternative is there? Alternative is there if you want. See, if you want alternative, look this side. If you look this side, see, from G3 you first come to extreme end here. 125 plus 2d by 3 pi. That also will do. Or, see, or 125 plus 2 into 110 by 3 pi. That is from here up to extreme end. Oh, got it now. From this distance, I want only this distance. Subtract this distance, 74.549 whole square. Okay, got it. See, I found as if I'm a student, or how a student who has not mastered but understood, who is sincere, no doubt, what all I taught he will be knowing. But little this side, that's a confusion. It happens always. I know. So many times I know that I cannot expect a student to tell fluently the answer, very fluently, without bothering. Not the possible. But it is possible if you concentrate, study, and understand. That's why exercise questions will help you a lot. The purpose of giving exercise is here, see this chapter. Later, see, when I go to every chapter, even strength of materials also, friction I won't give much. Strength of materials also, after every chapter is over, I decided to give non-stop exercises. Okay, so that covering the complete chapter, where if information is required, I will tell. If not required, I sometimes murmur myself. See, about this axis. But I write here sometimes. Okay. Now that's all. Go through all the questions. We'll continue next time for more such type questions, but different shapes. Okay. Next time we'll meet. Thank you.